So the block itself is an oversized block. It's a pretty big block, and here it is kind of all exploded out. And then this is the sashing that goes up next to it. So to make this entire quilt, there's only 2 patchwork units that make up the quilt. So there's this one, and there's this one. This one is made in both blue and red. They're just oriented opposite each other.
Right.
And then this one. And that's it. That's the whole quilt. Those 2 units. That's it.
I never in a million years when you brought this in would have thought that it's just 2 simple units like that. It's really striking.
And so
Very
it can
clever.
look really intimidating, but just keep in mind you just got 2 units to work on and then put those together.
And that is part of the genius of Angela as a quilter. I think you always come up with like really complicated looking designs that are very simple in construction. So I love
super fun. So let's look at this unit first.
Okay.
So this unit, the center is a V block. So it's called a V block because you've got a V unit here. So there's a center triangle and then there's 2 side triangles attached to it. And once you have that center unit, it's very similar to like a basic square in a square where you then attach 2 triangles on this side and 2 triangles on this side. It's just that these 2 triangles are opposite color, different colors, and these match. So let's work on just that V block first. That's going to go in there. So one of the things we need to do is cut the center triangle. So I've got a strip of fabric here, and I need to cut that first, that equilateral triangle there. So we're going to lay this tool on, I folded it over first for that very first cut, the very first triangle, and I'm just going to line up on the fold with this dashed line, and then you're just going to whack it off there. And that'll give us the first pair.
Shift a tiny bit of the fold there. There we go. There you go.
Awesome. Okay, so that's waist. And then when we open this up, there's triangles, right?
Nice.
Okay, so for the next one, I'm going to flip this over. And now there's a diagonal line here. Yeah, and there's a straight line here at the bottom. And then you're going to whack it off that way.
Okay, so you just keep moving down the strip. You don't have a ton of waste.
Down the strip, And so I have these. You can do these in layers. I do them in quite a number of layers.
I was going to say, how many do you do at a time?
Yeah, you know, if you put a little squirt of just grocery store starch in there and then iron it down, it's like glue. It'll stick them all together, and then it won't shift when you go to cut them all. Okay, so I've got a bunch of triangles, and now I need to cut these side rectangles, the side triangles, which are actually made out of a rectangle cut on the diagonal. So it has that built into the tool as well. So I'm just going to line up along. There's a dark line there and a bottom edge here. It's a 5.5 inch strip. And then go ahead and cut that. And I have the fabric layered so that it's not right sides together, so that I can get a pair. So
I can get
a left and a right. So you're going to cut a bunch of those as well, so that we've got all of our rectangles that are now cut in half, and we've got our center triangle. So let's go ahead and put these on, and I really, if you lay them out, then you're not going to get confusified. And when I get it over here, I actually take this one and hide it so that I don't, so I can I'm just doing one side at a time, and I can chain piece them. So when you put these together too, these are a little oversized so that you can then cut them down to size, and then you'll know they're the perfect size.
That's nice because it can be a little confusing. Which ends do we line up perfectly? Do we have an overhang like that? So
well, this is actually, this little point, he lines up with that little point. So there is a small overhang on here. Let me flip him over. So there's a little tiny overhang over here, but he lines up. These 2 points do line up.
Nice.
All right, so we're going to sew him down. And then, you can chain piece these, so you don't have to do one at a time, which is why, I hide one of the side triangles so that I don't get mixed up.
Totally makes sense.
Now, there's a lot of different seams in here, so this is when I use that fabric folding pin to get a nice crisp press. So it's got water in it, has a little bit of a softener in it, and just run it down the stitching line and then hit it with an iron, and it'll lay so nice and flat, and it really helps with precision.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and so essentially this fabric is a striped fabric, which can be intimidating for people, but the way that you cut this, it'll keep all the stripes all going the same.
So
let's put the other side. See, I already was about to get confused. So we're going to attach this one, And so I'm just going to line up my points, and I'm just going to go sewing it point to point so that I have my side triangles on there.